Good evening, everybody. Chris Upton in the house. It's Wednesday. It's 8 o'clock. Here we are again. Who's had a good week? Who's had a crap week? Simon Spruce is first in the house. Karen Evans is second. Matt, good evening, Matt Crew. Jay Brooker, good evening. John Griffins, good evening. And Simon Spruce is back in the house again. Not the tables, Carlos. Good evening to you. And my darling wife, Susan, is in the background. I don't know where. Oh, she's just here. Hiding in the background. Anyway, let's take the whistle off. Just got in. Okay. Adrian Bromley, good evening to you, sir. Okay. So, 23 people in the house. 4 likes already. We've not said nothing. So I get 4 likes for saying nothing. What do I get for saying something? David Norton, good evening. Peter Taylor, good evening. Martin Lawrence, good evening. Robert Jeffrey, good evening. Good. Sue says good evening to everybody as well. Same old faces, same old faces. Have you got nothing better to do, you lot? Have you not got anything better to do in life?
Nothing else on the phone.
Wednesday night, Sunday night. Some of you people are so regular. It's like having diarrhea. Andy Stead's in the place. Some cracking videos today. Chris loves them with Ryan's Lab. Yeah. Just shows, doesn't it, how some dogs will settle in straight away and some dogs will take a little while. Lot to do with that dog. A lot to do with him. It's not going to be a quick fix. No, Chris. Oh, sorry, Jules is just spoke to us on a private message or email, whatever you call it. There's so much of this media these days, isn't it? I must apologize to anybody I haven't answered because I get so many requests and people having conversations with me, whether it's in Messenger, email, Patreon, and I answer as many as I can, but I can't answer all of them. There's that many people asking questions. I try and answer as many as I can, but it's not that I'm being rude. It's just the fact that I'm a one-man band doing the best I can. And that's what it's down to. It's down to there's only so many hours you can spend on the internet. Nice old video of my dog, Chris. Yeah, Andy. Yeah, remember that? It feels like it was 4 or 5 years ago. And it wasn't, was it? It was a lot longer. Liking your mule, Chris, when you went out with Katie. Yeah, thank you. There's an old saying, isn't there? Everything that glitters is not gold. It looks stunning in the showroom, but I like the old mule. This one's a lot faster, definitely. Gets you there so much quicker. Cuts time in half for travel. But it's smaller, and I've had to get a new dog box. A bit cheesed me off a little bit because I thought the back end was the same size inside, and it's not. It's quite a bit smaller, and it's a little bit awkward for carrying a few extra things as well as the dog box.
It's nice and warm.
But Sue likes it because it's got doors on it. It's got proper seat belts on it, and she said it's nice and warm because it's a petrol and the heat comes through the seats. And she likes the fact that her bum's being warmed up at the same time.
Toasty.
Toasty, she says, toasty. But she's 13 and a half now. It's amazing, isn't it, Andy? Where does the bloody time go, boy? Where does the time go? I look at dogs. I've videos that come up, and I think, which dog is that again? Which dog is that? Now, that's not being rude. That's not being uncaring. It's I've trained that many dogs over the years. Sometimes it makes you think, I can't remember that one. And then something clicks and you remember it. There's certain dogs you'll never forget, and there's other dogs that train that easy. You don't perhaps remember them in the same way because they just trained easy and you sold them on. Or they train them for clients and they sold them on. heaters, yeah, I don't understand it myself, Kieran. I like it with the wind blowing in my face, like on a motorbike. Sue likes it heated. She liked the heated jackets we had on motorbikes and the heated seats, and she likes the heated seats in a Mini. I just think she likes a hot bum. I think that's the problem.
Look, Jay asked a question.
Karen Murray, really loving the content on Patreon. Thank you so much, because that makes it feel like it's worth it, Karen, because the work I put into it, now I feel obliged because I'm being paid, and I appreciate that. Without your help, I would have been struggling this season because it's not as busy as it has been. Don't blame people. People aren't getting down in the same way as they were. But with the dogs in that I've got for training, one-to-one dogs that I've got in for training, and the Patreon site, I'm keeping my head above water.
Jay asked a question, Chris. Do you think Dougie will ever pull on a pigeon in the field, Chris? He is laughing.
Do you think Dougie will ever pull onto a pigeon in the field, Chris? Well, the funny thing is, Jay, I put that video up to show you that that was only once he done that, and he was interested. Now, at the moment, I've got 2 female pigeons and 1 male pigeon, and I was going to start breeding them, hopefully. So I didn't want to take one and take it out and give it to him in case he mouthed it and damaged it. I wanted to bring it in stages. So I brought up a couple of his pigeons, and that's what we did in the cage. And we just wanted to see if he'd win that from a long way back. And in thick cover, he didn't have a clue. He didn't know what he was doing. But the scent was low down, and the cover was hiding it. So you could have argued that he didn't show any sign of it, and I agree. I would have preferred him to be a lot better than that. But once he'd actually seen the movement, he was interested, and that's why we're going to put a few birds in the pen to see if we can G him up. And if he does catch one, we'll take it off him and we'll examine it. But we want him to have the desire to want to catch it. I did some retrieving with him, like I said to you, this week, and he went really well. I couldn't believe how well he did it. But that's because I've backed off the retrieving and I've been doing the recall in different environments. So we've been taking him to different environments. Good evening, Michael from Ireland. Are you saying that Sue has a hot bum? Andy, in the dark, she still reminds me of an 18-year-old. It's when you switch the frigging light on that we both look at ourselves and go, oh shit, we're getting old. But no, she got a lovely figure for her age. I haven't. I'm being honest, everyone. Did you see the one where I dropped my pants? That was 11 years ago. I had muscles on the back of my legs. They're not varicose veins. Sue said piles. What? What the hell is she on about? Anyway, I want to really be questioned and tested here.
Peter's got one.
You've got 38 people in here and 11 thumbs up. Dennis Smith, do you prefer kennels or an indoor cage? What, for Sue? Gimp mash for me, she says. Good question. Do I prefer kennels or indoor cage? I've always used kennels. I use a cage indoors if it's a house dog come working dog, if it's a client's dog, so it doesn't have to go into a kennel and become a kennel dog. Somebody asked me the other day, if you watch David Lissett's training DVD, on that he says that he feeds all the pups away from the kennels, and that way they crap outside the kennels and not in the kennels. A friend of mine went all the way up to Scotland, bought a David Lissett pup, brought it back, and I said, does it shit in a kennel? He said, of course it does. Why are you asking that? I said, well, if you watch his video, it says his dogs don't shit in kennels. If you feed them outside the kennel, they'll shit outside. He says, do you think I'm standing outside? I go to work for a freaking living. And he's right. So at the end of the day, you will get dogs that are living kennels that will mess in the kennel. And you must never punish the dog for messing in the kennel. But if you take them out twice a day, 3 times a day, you can actually get them to hold themselves and mess outside. You can condition them. but I can't guarantee that all the time. Some days I'm not back till 9 o'clock at night with a customer, and other times I'm in the yard all day, and I could take the dogs out on a regular basis, and I do if I get the chance to give them a break in the monotonous sitting up in a kennel waiting to be trained. And especially my dogs, because my dog's got to take a back seat if customers' dogs have got to come first. It's as simple as that. You've got to look after your customers' dogs. And so my dogs might not go out quite as much as others. That's why I've learned over the years that less is more. When I take a dog out, there you go, Salmon Spruce. I don't know why the message was held for review. Mine doesn't shit in the kennel. It is fed outside only when told. There you go. Well, only shits when told. Peter Piper, do you feed your dogs once a day or twice a day? I feed once a day, and I feed very late at night. And some of those dogs will hold themselves, and some of them dogs won't. Some days you go in there, it's like, look, the kennel looks like Bobby Sands where they've been running in it on hunger strike. But other times, they're clean. You can never tell. But it doesn't bother me because it's part and parcel of having kennel dogs. You've just got to clean up the mess. It's as simple as that. I don't make nothing of it. Chris, are pheasant and partridge going to be a more expensive shot this season due to the virus as bird numbers are less? I have no idea, Malcolm. It's a good question. I was speaking to a local keeper here, and they've got half the birds down this season compared to last season. And I was speaking to the landowner, and he was saying that what happens if they have a lockdown, those birds will starve because they won't be able to feed them corn. Well, that's some brilliant rough shooting, because the birds will open up if they're not getting any feeding off the feeders, and they'll open up, and birds can survive in the wild. So if they have a lockdown and then they open up, we'll have some rough shooting. I'm telling you, they'll be spreading everywhere. But no, nobody wants that for them, because once you make the commitment, but some shoots haven't gone down the road of shooting this year. Some shoots at the last minute have changed their mind, but a lot of shoots have cut back on the birds. So I have no idea. I think this year, if you can turn your shoot around and not perhaps make a profit but not make a loss, then I think you'll be lucky, won't you? Because I think guns will travel. But the problem is, if you've got beaters all together in carts and all that, it's quite nice when you've got a mule in it and you can travel around on your own. You can get in, get out, and do your job. You're a great asset to the shoots, aren't you? But I enjoy my rough shooting. I thoroughly enjoy my rough shooting now. And when you've done it for as long as I have, for the shoots, and given so much of your time and your effort and your skill to the shoots, and brought in people, and if they don't show the appreciation for you, then perhaps they've only got themselves to blame, haven't they? Because it works both ways, doesn't it? It really helps me with customers' dogs if I can get on the shoots, but it also helps the shoots. So it's a two-way thing, isn't it? Robert Jeffrey says, Chris, once the dog becomes adolescent, peeing everywhere and trying to become dominant, how long does this stage last? My pointer is 9 months old now, and he used to listen and recall nicely, now pushing boundaries. It's a funny one, isn't it? Because, Robert, I've had dogs here of 9 months old cocking their leg every 2 seconds, and it's normally where people exercise the dogs and take them for a run, and there's other dogs there, and they'll mark and they'll bitch, and they'll become obsessed with it, and then it's a real difficult job to get the dogs out of it. My dogs don't do it. Very seldom do they actually do it. And if there's a bitching season, that's different, then they will. But the amount of dogs and bitches we've got here, they all live together, and my dogs don't even cock their legs. Some of them, they still squat. And a dog that squats and doesn't cock its legs is a dog that's not dominant. But that's because perhaps the nature of me as a leader, where look at Doogie for instance. Dougie, for instance, what a dog. When he first come here, it was cock his leg all the time. He shits like a racehorse, right? And then he shits again like a racehorse, and then he'll stop for another shit like a racehorse. And honestly, if you had a shovel you could fill up a freaking mule with it. Not a mule, my Kawasaki mule. You go around the field, and if you stood in it, you'd disappear up to your neck in it. But when he's running away from you, he's got the biggest set of balls that I've ever seen on a dog, and they swing like a freaking pendulum. Like when he's running, whether he's running in a straight line or whether he's trying to turn a corner, it looks like he's going to fall over because his balls swing to one side and he loses all balance. They are massive. I mean, I thought I had big balls years ago. They shrink as you get older, I've been told. Well, I can't see them anymore.
I'll check later.
Susan, she'll check later. You dirty bugger. Honestly, she's terrible. She said she'll need a flashlight and scaffolding. Cheeky bastard.
Magnifying glass.
Magnifying glass. She's terrible to me, honestly. Kira Murphy says, one of the shooters aren't putting half the birds down. I think a lot of them are. Good evening, Dizzy Lizzie. Good evening. How are you? Been on call till 8. Honestly, network never stops, doesn't it? 43 people in here and 14 likes. And what are we talking about, really?
Well, you can answer Peter Taylor's.
Peter Taylor! We've missed Peter Taylor's question, have we?
Mm-hmm.
Robert Jeffrey, some really good training videos, advice on Patreon. If anyone's not joined up yet, sign up. You will really enjoy the group. Paul, do you recall the outcome of the black lab bitch you showed the first of today's videos? The one that was very scared. Yes, Paul. I've been putting up videos of that bitch doing retrieves. Recently, if I come across any more, she turned around. She turned around a corner. She had a funny eye on her, and she couldn't look up. Now, some dogs can and some dogs can't, but she couldn't look up. She never had the concept of looking up. She'd look out, and she'd have this sort of squinty eye. But yeah, she'd come out of herself lovely. And the reason that she was like that, and it was a fine example to show that video in that was 4 sections clipped together for you, where I did one section one day and then another section another day. At the time the bitch was here, and this was going back, I think, 6-7 years ago. I know the people who the clients who had her, and I'd trained another dog for them, and he said she's 4 years old and she's struggling. Would you work her, Chris? So I took her in, and I was amazed at how frightened she was and how scared of her own shadow and how aggressive she became because she couldn't handle the situation. Now, they keep saying, don't they, in dog training, you reward good behavior and you discipline bad behavior. Well, that was bad behavior. But if you discipline that gets worse because you knock the bitch back tenfold by going in there and disciplining that bitch. What you've got to do is show no fear. You've got to walk in there. You've got to put the food down and come out and knock back the bitch into a corner. But you've got to give them a couple of days to come round. And this is not a new thing, but she was quite a exceptional case of, she had that whale eye and you could see that she was petrified. And that's nervousness because she'd been isolated. They had a long drive down to their house that was in the countryside, and you'd have to come past the kennels open kennels where she was, and she would come out and chase the postman's van up the road, and the postman wouldn't get out his truck. He would just throw the mail and drive back up the track. She was very possessive of her own environment, and she wasn't a nasty bitch. And whether she would bite you is questionable, but it was all fear-based because she was being overprotective because she'd been isolated to such an extent. And that's why it's important. And he's a lovely chap, and he's a builder. He gets up early, goes to work, comes home late, and then he wanted to take the dog shooting. And when he took it shooting, it was petrified of everything. And that's why getting that social bond is so important. But that social bond, you've got to build on it. And first, you've got to get trust from the dog. You've got to get the dog to trust you. And that was exactly the same as Ryan's Labrador that you've just seen the video today, but you saw the video last week and you saw the videos clipped together today over a number of 3 days, I think, that we showed you the difference in the dog coming out of itself. Why? Because of gameplay. Now, there's a certain trainer, I'll name him, Chris Fraser at the moment, is telling everybody that you don't train dogs with gameplay. I disagree. Ask Ivan Balabanoff if he trained dogs with gameplay. Ask many Michael Ellis. Ask many a good trainer that I rate, and I'm rating Chris Fraser as well for a lot of the things he says. But I could debate with Chris Fraser in a rational, sensible manner. I'm not bitching behind his back, but I've been listening to him lately. I've not been saying too much because I think, well, no, if I contradict him all the time, he thinks I'm just being funny with him. I'm not being funny with him. He's entitled to his opinion. So I've been listening to it, but it doesn't mean I agree with it. And I do know that if you go in with discipline straight away, yes, you can get a reaction, but I don't want to knock the drive back or knock the confidence in the dog back. And I'm not saying that Chris Fraser does. I'm saying that I disagree, that I think gameplay is a really important part of dog training. You don't train a dog with gameplay, but you get the dog to want to play the game. Then you can use the discipline to control the dog once you've got the dog wanting to play the game. If the dog's got no desire to play the game and doesn't want to interact and wants to go off and piss, yes, you can correct it for pissing, but you're not going to get the best out of the dog. I want the dog to switch off from the pissing and pay attention to me. It's the same as all the girlfriends I've had in the years. I want them to want to be with me, not because I've forced them to be with me. If I'd wanted to force them to be with me, I would have carried a gag and a freaking gimp mask. But no, it's dead simple. I want the grandchildren to be with me because I want the grandchildren to like Grandad. I want them to want to like the gameplay. But they've got to understand there's rules, and they do. And that's the difference, because if you set rules and boundaries, the grandkids know where they stand. If you allow them 1 minute to push rules and then come down on them hard, they get confused. But the difference is if you teach the behavior that you want and then they push the boundaries, then you can give a correction. Now, would I scruff my grandchildren? I don't need to, because they've got enough capacity to understand exactly the way I am working the situation. They want to be with Grandad because Grandad is fun element. If they saw Grandad every day, they might say, I can get what I want out of Grandad because he's a soft touch. But it's not like that. At the end of the day, you've got to give and take. It's knowing when to give praise. It's the same as when people come to you for lessons. It's easy to win people over and get people coming back day in and day out, or week in, week out, by saying, oh, you've got a lovely dog there. That dog's going to go all the way. It's fantastic. It's not your fault the dog's like that. You've got to tell people when it's their fault. It's as simple as that. And sometimes the truth hurts, but that's part and parcel of our job. Our job is to tell the truth, to say it the way it is. And that's why I like listening to Chris Fraser, because he says exactly what he feels. That doesn't mean I have to agree with everything he says. And that's the same with Larry Crone. I don't agree with everything Larry does or everything Larry says, but I know where I stand if he's being genuine. And I want people to be genuine. You can have a difference of opinion, a difference of you can blatantly say, I don't agree with that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean you need to fall out. The problem is people can't take it. People cannot take it. They cannot take the negativity. And if you feed negativity to customers, you don't always get the best from them. But if you feed honesty to customers and you know how to do it, and you know how to get the best out of them, that motivates them. Your Dizzy says your grandkids are so cute. They're a right bunch, honestly. They went to the beach today, all running around naked. I just couldn't believe it. I saw the pictures. Oh, disgraceful. I hope you don't stick them on the internet. We got paedophiles watching. She opened the back of the van. Two of the youngsters are really naked, running around the van. Let's get your clothes on. It's like they're so funny, and they don't care, do they, at that age? I didn't either. I didn't care at that age at 17. I used to love the nudist beach. I used to love it. We're coming from the Midlands, and then you come down here and get onto a nudist beach, and all the women are naked. Fantastic. Fantastic. Unbelievable. Couldn't get me kit off fast enough. What? I don't know why I went there. Sue's laughing in the background. I don't know why I went there. Probably thinking about Penny. She should give me a haircut at the same time. You don't get hairs on you don't get any hairs on your t-shirt then, do you? Anyway, I thought we'd go back to dog training, shall we? Honestly, my mind runs away with itself sometimes. I don't really fancy going to the nudist beach now, though. Not really, not at my age. I'd be like a walrus, wouldn't I, on the freaking beach? Susan, stop it, Sue. I'd be like a beach whale, wouldn't I? That's a seal, isn't it? A clapping seal. Anyway, stop it, you lot. You get me in trouble. Michael says, do you change your dog's diet coming up to during the hunting season? No, I don't, Michael. If they're looking lean, I'll give them some more. But no, I find that CSJ is a good food, and it works lovely. Sometimes I give them tripe. I'm not a fan of Chris phrase. All I ever seem to do is following the slag off of the trainers. He comes across a bit of a bully. Do you know, Adam? Everyone to their own, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. So I appreciate your opinion. I don't agree with everything he says or does, but I do think that he has got a good understanding of dog training, and we need more people who are honest. I'm not saying bully. I don't mean slagging off other trainers perhaps so much. I do agree with you on that to a certain extent. I do think that people need to be called out, though, when they're really, really poor and they're ripping people off, and it's just become a money-making cult following of how many people you can get onto your group of followers, and I'm not a big fan of that. John Wilson, hi Chris. So sorry I'm late. I've been busy building dog kennels. Still, John. Jesus Christ. Corleone Blackthorn. I think she's called Blackthorn, isn't she? No, that was a dog, wasn't it? I've got a bitch that was a brood bitch. Andy Stead knows, a black and white bitch. She's thrown some fantastic pups, and can't have any more litters off her. And John has got a cocker that's a little bit noisy, and he wants to put her out in the kennel, noisy in the kennel, that is, when she's left alone. So he wanted to put another dog with her and get a pup. And so I said to him, well, take this bitch and see how you get on with this bitch. And she will teach you so much, because she's an experienced bitch, and she'll show you how to hunt tight. She will actually show him where the dog should be hunting when it's tight. And he's picking her up on Friday, and he'll have some real good fun with her. And we talk about forever homes, Arga homes, we call them, don't we? Once you've finished either hunting the dog or the brood bitch, like Kate's got one of mine. Other people have had one of my dogs, and they love them because they're just so loving and loyal. And when you give them that little bit of special care and attention, because I've got so many of them, they'll love you to death. And you could see the little bitch was going across to John and was friendly as anything, and that's what you've got to be. And those dogs go off and make fantastic dogs. Hi Chris, have you still got the dog that sired Harley? The dog that sired Harley belongs to Alan Chadwick. That's one of my Corleone dogs that I bred, and I sold him to Alan at 8 weeks old. Hang on, Chris, have you still got the dog that sired Harley? Yeah, that's it. That's the dog that sired Harley was Alan's black and white dog on his bitch called Harley. Jess's bitch called Harley. So Alan Chadwick's got that dog, black and white dog. Karen, can you tell us all on here? You said you went to see Ray. How was he? I've actually had about 9 messages this morning. Someone started a group or something. I don't know if I was added to it, but I've seen all these messages, and Ray kept saying, why am I on here? What's going on here? He was a bit confused with it, but I was very busy this morning, and I just seen the phone going ping, ping, ping. I did hear he's getting a little bit better. He did say he's on the runway and he's trying to take off. I don't know where he wants to go because he might have to isolate for 2 weeks when he comes back. But I've heard he's on the mend. But you said you went there, Kieran. Can you give us a little bit of insight? How about giving us a ring and letting everyone know? So if you ring me on my home number, you could just give us a quick 5 minutes of how he is when you saw him, and or is mum the word and you can't say anything? Was it a secret visit? Hope you wore a mask. Phantom of the Opera. Honestly, going in every freaking shop. Honestly, I look so attractive. I go, give me your money. Give me your money. And they go, what? I says, give me your money. Fuck off, they say. I thought with them adding you that it time to tell that it was time to tell. So here it is. Come on then. We're all waiting now. What's freaking going on? You've got us all on the edge of it. Oh! Hello. It's me.
I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to...
Hello? Hello? Missed call. Just because I let it ring for 3 freaking rings.
I haven't got your number on your mobile. You've just rung it.
Hello.
Hello, Captain. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Chris. You?
What's the SP there with the old Ray?
So, what happened was, can you hear me?
Yeah, everyone can hear you. You're live and you're naked.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me, Chris?
Absolutely fine.
Yeah, sorry, I'm delayed on the live. There we go. Yeah, I'm back up to scratch. I wondered what was going on then. Yeah. So, a couple of months ago, Ray contacted me. To be totally honest, he was a little bit upset. Obviously, you know, he's not been in the best of health.
Right.
And he wanted someone to take on Charlie, Ray's dog. My battery might go as well, so if it goes off, I'll go and whack it on charge just to let you all know I've not got
right.
my battery.
Yeah, no problem. Go on. Yeah.
But anyway, he was pretty upset on the phone, obviously, because he just said he couldn't do it anymore, and it was a tough decision. And he just wanted to know that his dog was going to a good home. And he asked me if I could take it. He's not forced the dog on me or anything. He just asked. Obviously, he must have been trying to find a good home for him. So I just said, do you know what, Ray? Yeah, I'll do it. I'd like the guy to have a peace of mind, you know, that his dog's gone to a good home. So that's why I went down there.
Ah, right. So magic. So that's the little cocker I've seen you with.
That's the little cocker, the little black one.
I thought I recognised him.
Building the bond.
Yeah.
He did say to me, don't be in a rush to tell Chris, and I thought he was going to tell himself, which is why I said last week on the live feed, have you spoke to Ray?
No.
And when they added you into the group this morning, I thought, right, well, I'm presuming Chris must know now, so it's time to tell.
Yeah, no problem. How was he health-wise, Ray?
You know what? He was on his feet, so, I mean, it was the first time I've ever met Ray myself, other than talking to him on the phone. But yeah, I mean, he was his old self. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was up and about. I think it really upset him letting the dog go. It was hard for me as well as Ray, I think. But yeah, so that's a little story. And Charlie's here. He's got his own little kennel at the back.
Lovely.
Enjoying life. He'll be staying with me. Like I said, I've always said if I commit to a dog, they stay with me until the end. And I think Ray deserves that peace of mind, you know.
Yeah.
If anything happened to my health, I'd like perhaps Alan or Richard Gould or the lads that I've met through this channel to give me the peace of mind that my dogs are not going to end up with a snowflake, to be quite frank.
Yeah. Oh, right. So that's the reason you went down there then, because you did say you went down
to pick up the dog.
Yeah. Well, we've heard that he's get slightly better, and he is making a slow recovery. But
I mean, I hope to God that he makes the best recovery he possibly can. But
yeah.
you know, life's a bit tough sometimes, and old age, and
Yeah.
so that's it, really.
Yeah.
That was,
but thanks for letting
that
us.
was the reason I went down to him, and at least he's now got a peace of mind.
Yeah.
I send him regular videos.
Lovely.
And you know, so yeah.
Well, we're all thinking of him, and you know, we're all concerned. But
yeah, I told him how many people had asked.
Yeah.
He was thrilled to bits about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he knows.
Yeah.
Won't surprise me if he's watching.
Well, it'd be nice. It would be nice if he is, and we all think about you, Ray, and get better if you are, mate. You take your time, and there's no rush on you at all from anyone here. The stuff we've had off you has been first class. It's been absolutely fantastic. And to be honest with you, Ray, we'd be lost without you, mate. If you're not out in the shed, but we understand completely.
100%.
Your health comes first, mate. Your health comes first. Magic, Kieran. Thanks a lot, boy.
No problem.
Take it easy. Cheers, boy. Bye-bye.
Bye, mate.
Bye. So there you go. Something I didn't know. I seen that cocker, but hey, black cocker, how would you know? Sue, you're a star. Sue, you star. You are, Kieran. Lovely, please, of mine for Ray. Honestly, I think I got that virus going in that freaking garden centre today. She's had me in a freaking garden centre. We bought a bench and a table. We were having to barter like 2 Pakistanis on Stoke Market. And the lady says, "Do I know you?" And I said, "No, I don't think so." She said, "What's your name?" I said, "Alan Turban." Alan Turban. Stop it, honestly.
Right, you've got one question.
Oh, one question. He's like, "Oh, Chris, getting a new puppy in a few weeks." This is from Lee. And it will be 8 weeks old. Well done. That's the right age. Roughly, what age do you start getting them into sleeping in kennels? And how do you do it? Thanks, Lee. From day one, for Christ's sake, boy. Honestly, if you leave them in your bed, they'll never get out of it. They'll never get over it. You have to start off at 8 weeks old. And guess what? It's not too cold. As long as it's draft free and they've got somewhere to sleep and somewhere to mess. And I put a radio on in the background. You let them cry for a day or two and take them out. When they see you, they'll be happy. When they're not got any attention, they'll be upset for a few days, but they'll soon get used to that sort of living. If you take them inside and you give them lots of love and you're on the settee with them and they're getting attention non-stop and everyone's picking them up and going, "What a lovely puppy." They're bred that way to survive. And then they take over. Trust me, they take over. But you do need socialization. And so it's so important that you can pick your pup up. But that's what my puppy videos are there for. How many thousands of times have I put up puppy videos to show people, and yet people are still hooked onto the videos to see how we tap into getting a bond with the dog, getting a social bond with the dog, not overdoing it, not turning the pup into a whining brat that wants attention all the time. I've always told this story. You know, I've got to be careful what I say, because today you can get so in trouble, can't you, for if you say the wrong word. But you know, I class myself as, we come from white family, right? And what we say, white family, right? They pick up kids, the grandparents pick up kids, the auntie picks up the kids, everyone picks up the kids. It doesn't mean other people from other countries don't love them. But one of my best mates was Chinese, and we used to run home from school. I used to run into my dad's shop and work for him, and he used to run into his dad's Chinese shop and work for him. So he used to have to go and prep the food ready for the restaurant to open. And then as soon as the restaurant opened, a takeaway opened, he used to be on the counter, running the counter. And they used to have a hatch and a high hatch. They used to have high hatches in the Midlands, in the Chinese, the old-fashioned Chinese. And used to have a latch door that used to open like that to go through to the back room. And he used to open it and let me through. And then if you turn around and look you could see the till right underneath where they stand and serve. So they obviously pull the till out for security. And right next to the till was a baby in a carry cot. And I was, I think, 9, 10 years old. Well, maybe 11 years old, because I had my brother and sister, and we were having to look after them because they were 10 years younger than me. My brother was. And my brother used to cry all the time and want attention all the time. And he used to get attention all the time. So the more attention you give him, the more attention he wanted. And then he couldn't be left alone. And the same with my sister when she came along. But because there was 10 years difference between us and them, We were asked to look after them when my parents worked, and we resented it a little bit because we wanted to have our childhood. We wanted to have a childhood, and all of a sudden you're babysitters big time. But in them days, that's what you did. You did what your family told you to do. And the reason I'm telling you is this Chinese baby, I looked in this little caricature, and then this beautiful little baby, black hair, spiky like Sid Vicious, with the old Chinese, sweet little Chinese eyes, and just there with a big smile on its face, underneath the freaking counter, under the till. You wouldn't get away with it with an English baby. You get reported. But it was content. It didn't mean they neglected it and they didn't not change it and they didn't feed it, but they didn't pay attention all the time. And when you see old films and you see people working in the paddy fields and they've got a kid strapped on their back, the kid's got to just cope with life, doesn't it, like that? And so that's the same with the dog situation, if you think about it. The more you pamper them, and that's what we do. And years ago, people got dogs because they were for working dogs, whether they were hunting dogs, protection dogs. And that's what dogs were. Dogs were there for a purpose, whether they kept the farmyard clean of rats, whether they protected the sheep, whether they warned people that there was people approaching. That's the reason people got dogs. These days, dogs become fur babies, and the fur babies take over. And so that's what I'm saying about Lee getting your puppy. Put that puppy in a kennel. Trust me, it's going to play up for a few days. Why? Because it's been with its brothers and sisters. It's been used to other company. It's going to have to change that mindset. But once it's changed the lifestyle and it accepts the lifestyle, then it's easy to build on that. If you do it the other way around and think, oh, it's only 8 weeks old, I've got to take it inside, I've got to give it attention, I've got to pamper it because it's a puppy. The more you pamper it, the more it'll want. There's a balance, and that's what I'm trying to show you with the puppies. It's great to have a puppy and get it to want to jump all over you and love you. And my puppy that I'm training for, Eddie from Scotland, is really showing that he loves to be with you, but he likes to be slightly independent. Now, what I've had to do with him, because he's on his own and he's crying a bit, I've been normally free feed, so the puppy's got food all there all the time, but I've been putting a bitch in there with him and letting him feed 3 times a day for 15 to 20 minutes and then taking the food away from him and teaching him, you get food, but you're only getting it for a short period of time. You better eat it. Where before he would just pick at it when it suited him because he didn't need to be a pig because you've taught him to spread his meal out. Now I've gone to 3 times a day. So he's in there with a bitch in the night time. That will give him comfort. He's learning to switch off because it's an older bitch and she'll just crash down and he'll crash with her. It gives him company. That's the only advantage that I found, Lee, when I have pups. If you have 2 pups, yes, they'll fight like little bastards, right? Yes, they'll scrap. Yes, they'll learn boundaries. And that's the same as brothers. 3 brothers, all of roughly the same age. We all scrapped. We toughened ourselves up, but there was a bond with each other. All 3 of us, a deep bond for so long. And then you see the true characters of each individual brother, and you either like it or you don't like it. Same with the dogs. If they stay with a litter mate, they can get a bond with them, and that can be detrimental towards you as a trainer, where actually if they can switch off in a kennel on their own and when they're with you, everything is rosy and the best thing in life, where they're going to be with you. They want to be with you. The compromise comes in when the missus is on the settee stroking them, the kids are throwing socks for them, the dog's jumping from one settee to another chair and no one's saying anything. I like driven dogs, so I don't suppress them too soon. But when I do suppress them, they switch off like that. And you have a dog that wants to listen to you because you've played plenty of games. It's fun to be with you. Why would they not want to be with you? But then when you show the discipline, they respect you and love you even more, because then you give them structure, and that's important. Sue, you start. Lovely.
Right, before you look at any more questions, don't.
Yeah.
Because there's Peter's, that was 6 minutes past 8 o'clock. He's been waiting all this time.
Chris, I asked a question at 20:06, right at the top.
All the time, so it's evening, Chris.
Is it? Hang on, is it right at the top? Is it 6 minutes past?
6 minutes.
Peter Taylor, evening, Chris. I got that one.
Yay.
That's what it says, evening, Chris.
No.
Hang on, I'll go further down. I'm going further down.
Andrew said she's 3.5.
Hang on.
3.5.
Peter says, I was out with the dogs last night. Jax flushed a bird and Harley set after it like a train for about 50 yards. I didn't make anything of it. Was I right? Yes. You should have said, good lad. Well done, son.
He's gone, phew.
Yeah. Now, make nothing of it. Don't say good lad. Just make nothing of it. It doesn't matter. If Jax had flushed it and ran after it, then Harley would have been learning bad habits. You didn't say that. You said Jax flushed it and Harley set after it like a train for about 50 yards. No problem. Nothing wrong with that. Trust me. But you don't want to be doing it all the time. If you're doing it all the time, you're in the wrong area with your dog. But at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't worry about it. Thank Christ for that. I mean, he sat there for freaking all this time just for that simple answer. Jesus Christ, pulling his hair out. I thought you were a dog trainer as well as a builder, Peter. Okay. So Susan spotted that one. She took me back up there, didn't she? She's good there. That was good.
I did let him know I was
Do you know where? Do you know that was Penny? That was Penny who kicked her up, give her a kick up the arse and says, "Freaking help your husband, because if not, I will."
3 times I've been trying to get him to answer his question, and then he poor thing came in and said, "I've asked a question," and I said to him, "I'm on it, Peter. Don't worry."
I'm on it. She said she's on it. She's on it, Peter. Honestly, she's been on it for the last freaking 3 weeks. Have you given me grief non-stop ever since she gone back to work? She says she wants to retire. I said we're gonna have to up the Patreon to £10 a month then. No, you're all right. I told her, you get back to work and stop freaking being soft. I had to tell her, you know. I had to tell her. Sometimes you've got to put your foot down. You can't, honestly, you can't let them take over. They will if they can. Haley Cartwright, Simon, that's my plan. Oh, Karen's in it.
But she asked the question further on.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Sue's giving me crap again. Come on, Haley, where's your question? Let's answer Haley's question. She's my latest fan.
My pups in the house, it starts with.
Hang on, I don't know what it is. Was she a cocker or a springer? I'm very well. How are you both?
Down.
My God, do you change your dog style? I don't know.
Down.
Down. Honestly, it sounds terrible. I hope Katie wasn't. I don't know what that means.
Down. This is literally almost at the bottom of the ones.
Oh, bottoms of the ones?
Yeah, go right down and then go back up.
I'm right down. Haley! Chris, my pup's in the house but using a crate. How much time should she spend in and out of the crate? I'd ask Kieran, but I'm doing this alone. Ask Kieran, Haley. Ask Kieran. He's the man of the house. Ask him and then come back to me and tell me what he says. Let's test his dog training skills, shall we? Chris, my pup is in the house but using the crate. How much time should she spend in and out the crate? I'd ask him, but I'm doing this alone. Listen, I've been there before. I went in a bar once and a bloke and a woman was fighting and arguing like shit at the bar and throwing punches at each other. And I said, listen, I've come in here for a quiet drink. You couldn't take your Barney outside. And then the bloke started on me. And this bloke started on me. Next minute, his missus has knocked him off the freaking bar stool in the pub and knocked him cold out on the floor. And I'm thinking, I'm never getting involved in a domestic again. If you want to fight, fight. So, Ailey, ask Karen and let's see what Karen said. We're talking about passing the buck. No, it's a good thing. We got 2 pups, brothers. This is Adam. We got 2 pups, brothers, and it made life very easy because they had the company of each other exactly, and there was no crying. Just had to train them individually until they had basics. Well done, Adam. Adam, you're dead right. And I've always found that if you can have 2 pups out of the litter and keep them together, they and keep definitely for the first 8 months, it's fantastic. Dizziness, honestly, is that muscle power you got there? Honestly, that's turning me on. That is. Stop it. Peter Taylor, Jax sat up like a good, and that's the first bird Harley has seen. Yeah, I would say it's the first bird that Harley's chased because he never chased one with me. No, he's never chased one with me without fail. So I do like the natural ability. Nothing wrong with chasing, but you don't. Power to sue. What is that? What is it? What the hell's that?
Power to sue is what it is.
What does that mean? She's lost me. Power to sue. Oh, here we go. Look. Haley, I don't want to ask Karen. I want to learn myself. I'll
be knocking him off a bar stool.
I'll be knocking him off a bar stool. Stop it, Haley. Yeah.
These pups are going to cause domestics.
Yeah, domestics. Right, Haley, let's go back to your question, shall we? How often should you leave your dog in a crate? No more than 4 hours without a break, in my opinion. But guess what, Haley? When you put your dog in there at night, how long does the dog go before the morning? Now, some people don't get up till 8 o'clock and they don't go to bed till 11. Some people go to bed at 9 and get up at 4. It all depends. But I think if you leave a dog in a crate for more than 8 hours, I think you're being cruel. I think you're being cruel. If you make a dog sit in a crate for more than 8 hours, I think it's being cruel. So I always, without fail, if I go to bed late, I might have a bit of a more lie-in the morning. But at the end of the day, 8 hours, it would be the maximum of leaving a dog in a crate at night. And that's what most people should do. And the pup should be able to hold itself. But what happens when you want to go to the toilet? If you were in a crate, what would you do? Exactly. So letting a dog out the crate is an important thing to give the dog time outside, right? And so I would drop it off during the daytime to 2 to 3 hours and take the dog back out. But if you're going in town or something like that, or you've got to go to work and you don't want the dog eating into electric cables, you don't want to find it when you come back it's emptied the bin 5 times and it's been upstairs and soiled everywhere. The idea is keep it in the crate, condition it in the crate. If you condition a dog in a crate from the beginning, you don't have a dog that doesn't very often have a tendency to mess in its own environment, especially if the crate is small to begin with. If the crate is big, sometimes you'll have mess in there. You just have to put up with it. But at the end of the day, if you take the dog out on a regular basis and you're in that facility, in that environment that you can do that, the crate is a fantastic tool. But mine see the crate as a time to switch off. They don't see the crate as a negative. I've never had reactive dogs that just want to chew their way out of a crate. I've never had it. Except, even Harley as a puppy, you put him in his crate to begin with, he'd be mouthing the crate and you take no notice of it and it goes away. If the more you do anything about it, the more you create a problem. The idea is, I've got Darcy out the back there in a crate. She used to have a stair gate at the door. She hasn't got the stair gate. She's got that magic line. She knows she can come to that area, but she can walk around. She can eat food. She's got somewhere that she can class as her own den, her own environment. And it's big because it's a conservatory. But no, she can't get on the table. I don't want her on the chairs. We've conditioned her for that. But her place is on the floor. But in there, she has positives and she will get negatives if she does things that I don't want her to do. So that's part and parcel of how I condition the dog in a crate. Am I a fan of crates? Not for people who keep dogs in crates all the time, especially when the temperatures are phenomenally high and you've just got dogs in crates sitting in there. It's not fair, in my opinion. So I hope that's helped you, Haley, and I hope that it's not caused a rift between you and Karen. That was a fly. I was doing that. That was a quick. I just caught a fly, and it was flying across in front of me, and I don't care if it's got a family or not. I just dispatched it. I don't hold emotional baggage. The fly got it. Okay.
Well, Karen came back with this answer.
Yeah, Karen came back with his answer. Let's have a look what Karen says. I hope you like Harley. I have a spanner, you know.
No, it's not.
Okay. Simon Spruce, nice one, Penny. Jeffrey, I'm 11 till 6 normally, but don't get up till 6:30. I ignore his early. That's a good question. I ignore his early morning whining. Otherwise, I'd be up at 5. Exactly, Robert. But you've got to condition them. We have crates and the doors open, and they are in there now, switched off.
Yeah, but he starts with.
Okay, let's go back up.
It starts with.
Leave her in a lock. Leave her in locked up.
No, further up than that.
Okay, leave her in switch off. Is that the one?
No, further up.
Oh,
than that.
Jesus
1, 2, 3,
Christ.
4, 5 up.
So I would put her in a crate at night. Like I told you. If she cries, ignore her. She will soon get used. Take her out in the morning and spend 10 minutes bonding with her.
Put her away for a bit.
Put her away for a bit.
Then it goes down to.
Then it goes a little bit
leave
more.
her to switch off.
How old is the puppy, Haley? There you go. Fair play, Haley. Hang on, hang on. Right, okay.
Leave her to switch off.
I'm 11, bed up at 7. My dog's 8 hours sleep. Yep, well done. I agree with you, Liz, completely. That's the way you have to condition them. But that doesn't mean you want to take them out, let them have a pee and a crap, and then take them back in a cage and leave them in a cage for the rest of the day. The cage has got to be a positive thing. They enjoy the cage because it gives them security if you treat the crate as that. But at night, you've got to be sensible. The dog's going to be in there for that period of time, and they learn to hold themselves. Only if they've got upset stomachs, then they've got to go, don't they? But at the end of the day, they will hold themselves, and you teach them to hold themselves as well. So Karen says, leave her to switch off a couple of hours, get her out, dinner, play with her, bond 15 to 30 minutes, put her away, repeat, teach her toilet every couple of hours. If you're free, you don't want to. There you go. That's
Then it comes down again.
Oh God, honestly, Susan in the background. Honestly, I don't know why she don't run this bloody show. Ooh, we have domestics in the background. See this eye? See how lazy it is, look. See it? That eye's gone really lazy. Do you know why I never got my bloody beauty sleep this afternoon? Because of Sue. She had, do you know, we went off in the mule, went to Tavistock, found the bloody seat we wanted, then had to come back, then had to go up the yard, get the trailer out, put the bloody trailer on, take the trailer back to Tavistock, get the seat, come back, unload it, put the other seat out the back so everyone can sit on the seat when they come dog training and have a cup of tea. Honestly, I never had a break today. She's got another freaking day off tomorrow. She's killing me. I don't know. And then I've got a trip to bloody... Oh, I'm not telling you where the trip I've got to go to. Oh, I'm not telling you about the trip.
Finish what Karen said.
Okay. Sue's now telling me what to do. She's like a producer in the background. Now finish off. Leave her in the locked up always, but leave her in locked up always, but she has to learn to switch off. Look at Cooper and Sheldon. They sit in their crate with the door open. They choose to go in there. It's their safe space. Bloody hell, someone's teaching that boy.
They can switch off.
Honestly, someone's teaching that boy the right rules and regulations, aren't they? I don't know who he's watching. I don't know whose videos he's watching, but something's sinking in there.
So should Haley...
Honestly, any more questions, please contact Karen Evans.
Haley, ask Karen.
Ask Karen. Trust your old man. So they're always right, old men. Are they?
I wonder who taught Karen.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know who taught him, but he must be a god. Spot on, totally agree. We never had a problem. I got 5 kids, Chris. I wish I could sleep past 8, but thank you. I've been doing this, but you've got definitely 5 kids with Karen in the house. I've seen some of the antics he gets up to, but it looks a happy, mad family, a bit like my daughter's place. Then you're not giving her any attention so ever until she's been out for a week or whatever. Well done. Paul Cocker, I always thought it was cruel, but how wrong I was. Just as you say, the crate should be seen as a great place and the dog's place is a happy place. Exactly. And Darcy goes to a crate and we put her in the kennel as well. She likes to be out with the other dogs and we put her out in the run, and she's been out today and she's been training today, and she come back in. The gates open out there, the front room doors open. She could come racing in here like she was at one point. She knows rules and boundaries, and you call her and she comes straight to the magic line and goes, breaks. What's happening? Something positive. And Sue says, you'll spoil that dog. That's what I'd do if I had dogs in the house. They'd all be sitting neatly on that freaking settee like well-behaved children. But I'm not having it because I smell of dog. I come in and I smell of dog, and I just want to have a wash, and I want to sit on my settee that doesn't smell of dog. And it's a very small room. And so do I want to share it with 16 dogs? No. 16 women? Yeah. Yeah, but not 16 dogs. But they need a shower first. The women, not the dogs. The dogs ain't coming in. Robert Jeffrey. Hang on, what time is it anyway? 59:58. Guess what, everyone? It's 1 hour, and Chris has gave you an hour. So I'll just have a quick flick through. I've been here for a while. I've been here for a while, Chris, and Harley now considers you a part of our relationship. Karen, when you start to lay back in bed and talk about me at night, I know I'm getting through. I know I'm creating a pact between the two of you. And that's exactly what's happened over the years. Here, listen to Dizzy, look. Listen to Dizzy. Oh, fuck that. Dogs. No dogs on the Chesterfield here. There you go, darling. No dogs on the Chesterfield for Dizzy Lizzie.
And the first swear. Well done, Dizzy.
Diz, that's 20 pence in the swear box. We got you. You told me not to swear. We got you. There we go.
It's taken 3/4 of an hour.
3/4 of an hour before you've dropped one. Oh, can you say that? That doesn't sound right, does it? Share it with 16 dogs. What the hell are you on about, John Wilson? I'm worried about you. Isn't it nice? I tell you, John Wilson turns up with a freaking Toyota truck instead of a freaking surfer's wagon. He turns up with a beautiful waist jacket to put his dummies in, and he's looking more professional every time I see him. Honestly. All my missus talks about is you. Oh, thanks, John. I'll dream well tonight. Honestly, she thinks more. She think.
She's more excited.
Hang on, John. I'm getting flustered here. Sue's gonna have to read this one out loud for everyone.
All my missus talks about is you. Thinks she's more excited for the dog than me.
Bastard. I thought she was talking about me. They're a lovely couple. They have a laugh with us, and that's what it's about, everyone. It's about having a laugh, enjoying teaching, and I thoroughly enjoyed when they came down, and it's a pleasure to see John's face. His dog's now reached 12 months old, and I can see potential in the dog, and I can see potential in John, and it doesn't happen overnight. Dog training doesn't happen overnight. I am pissing at that Sayers video on what?
I was pissing at that Sayers vid you did, Pan. Didn't see it?
Sayers video. Come on, you have to give me something. Itching for a job. That's why. All right, then. If you throw your missus in for 2 weeks, right, then you can come down here for a week for free. Have you seen Pretty Woman? Stop it. Honestly, I'm not like that, girls. Honestly, no, I am. I've always been a sucker for a good-looking girl, and I say,
Yes.
yeah, can't help it. I mean, us blokes with testosterone, we love window shopping, and we're too old for it now. Well, no, I'm not too old for it. Don't get me wrong, but you know, no one's going to take me seriously. But you've got to have a laugh with people. It's funny because John's got a sense of humour. His missus has got a sense of humour. Well, she keeps a straight face anyway. But no, that's not a sense of humour if you don't keep a straight face. I can't get out there. I swear to God, those what? Oh, about the freaking cake things, isn't it? About yeah. I've seen that one. Yeah. Have a great night. I'm off to work. Been a pleasure. Thank you, Andrew. Have a nice evening, and I feel for you. I feel for you off to work at this time of night. You're a gentleman, Chris. Charismatic and a great company. Do you know what, Liz? That's what matters to me, because I can have a laugh. I've never put pressure on any woman who's ever come here and been over the top. I love my wife dearly, and yet we can have a laugh, and that's what it's about. It's about being friendly, approachable, giving education, and you know, making people feel comfortable when they come here, making them feel at home, and treat people the way you want to be treated. And that's how we could all get on a lot better in life if that was the case. So I'd like to finish with a bollocks to the freaking lot of you. We know what that means. Our lass says she has a good sense. Says she has a good sense of humor, and she married me. Our lass. You've got to be up north again. I made a comment about someone up north, and he says, "Stop taking the piss out of us northerners. Come on, get a set of bollocks." Honestly, no, he's only joking. He put loads of laughs on it, and that's what it's about. It's about having a laugh, isn't it? No, I've not got the virus. I've just got a freaking short of breath. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Yorkshire term, Chris. There you go, Robert Jeffrey. Thank you very much, lad. You say it as it is up north, don't they? I like that cricketer. What was his name? Come on, Susan. You're good at cricketers. See, I've just tested it. I know who I'm talking about.
I can see his face, but I can't think of his name.
Jeffrey Boycott.
No. Try to get me there, didn't you?
Come on then. Come on. What's that cricketer called up north who speaks his mind? It says it the way it is.
I can see his face.
Come on. Sue doesn't know. No, not Boycott. No. Come on.
Oh, I can't think of his name. He's old now.
She says.
As we're thinking, Peter Taylor said, took Harley to some water this week. He was a bit reluctant to go in, but I did manage to encourage him to do a retrieve from it.
Yeah, well, the reason with water, one of the things you want to do with water, Imran Khan. Not Fred Truman. That's going back too far. Not that far. Come on. You got to help me now. It's on the edge of my tongue, and I do know it, but come on. Not Boycott. Not Jeffrey Boycott, is it? No. Is it Jeffrey Boycott? Fred Truman? No, Fred Truman's gone back too far for me. He's dead. No, he's not dead. This guy. He's real outspoken northerner cricketer. I mean, I really liked him. He rubs a few people up the wrong way. I'm sure it's Boycott, Jeffrey Boycott. There you go, Spencer. You might be right, boy. You might be right. Why can't you show that business? Both of them, yeah. Both of them was one who played the game the way he wanted to play it, and I liked his method. But no, Jeff Boycott. I thought it was Jeff Boycott. Yeah, you're right. It was Jeff Boycott. We were right. So there you go. Thanks a lot, everyone. Chris Upton signing off. Hope you've enjoyed this evening. Well, you've given me enough bollocks anyway. Keep training, have fun, and make it fun. And like I said, we talk about discipline because we say it the way it is, and yet we talk about 95% gameplay. If you were on here and you were getting nothing but grief, you wouldn't be here, would you? Simple as that. So enjoy yourselves. And Jeff Boycott, there you go. Take it easy. Cheers. Bye-bye.